Hi guys and welcome to another video of mine where I will be commenting, scoring in my opinion on the dances of Strictly Come Dancing 2019, and today I will be scoring, commenting and reacting and in my opinion to the dances of week 3 movie week. So lights, camera, action, and let's begin without further ado with the first couple, Michelle and Giovanni, and their quick step. It was a delightful routine. Michelle and also Giovanni have acted their parts extremely well. The choreography was very intricate, but she coped with it brilliantly. Last week her top line wasn't that great, but in this quick step her frame was fantastic, and her upper body, that curve that is very important in ballroom, was excellent. I have to say, sadly, a point off because they broke hold at the middle of the dance, and I also spotted one or two errors regarding her footwork at the beginning of the dance, but other than that, it was so strong, technically, and full of style, full of artistry, and I will score it an 8. Let's move on to Alex and Neil and their rumba. I loved the interplay between the two of them, and I also loved the contemporary elements in the choreography. However, rumba is the slowest dance of all, so every tiny little detail regarding the footwork is visible and should be visible. And sadly, her timing was a little bit off at the beginning. She didn't really have these hip action painting the figure 8. The hip action was almost non-existent, and that was because she didn't straighten her legs and she didn't have the foot pressure into the floor. She didn't pass one foot near the other as should be in rumba. We have to pass one foot really near the other one. In addition, her toes were settled and not pointed in several places. So to sum up, artistically it was lovely, but technically it was very weak, sadly. So I will score it just a 5. Let's move on to Chris and Karen and their American Smooth. First of all, they looked stunning in those costumes. It was a great tune and they created a lovely atmosphere. For me, it was not enough foxtrot in the choreography. American Smooth should be 50% in the ballroom hold and 50% out not in the ballroom hold. But sadly, Chris danced most of the routine out of hold. He had presence, his arms were lovely, his musicality was excellent, but when he was doing the actual foxtrot, he didn't glide across the floor, there was no sway, his frame could have been better. So as a performance it was brilliant, but the actual pure foxtrot content was really little and technically very weak. So I will score it a 5. Let's move on to Karim and Amy and the samba. I was blown away by his abilities. The combination of kung fu moves and samba steps was sensational. Great costumes, fantastic musicality, but however, when it comes down to the actual samba he did, I felt like I was watching two different sambas, because most of his samba steps were superb, like the Corte Jaca, the Botafogo, stationary samba walk. He really mastered the hip action. He kept one leg straight and one leg bent as it needed, and it was amazing. But, and like why I said that it was, for me, it was like watching two different sambas, because some of the samba steps were technically pretty weak, unfortunately, like his walters and his batucadas. So it could have been an extremely amazing and extraordinary dance if he could maintain the same level of technique during the whole dance. I will score it a 7. Let's move on to Catherine and Jonas and the Rumba. Very emotional, touching dance, very touchy routine, technically very impressive. The interplay between the two of them was wonderful, lovely cucarachas, lovely rumba walk. It had straining of the legs and strong hip action. Her hands were beautiful. She didn't have hip action in one or two steps, and she didn't really pass one foot near the other as should be in rumba walks. But other than that, it was such a strong routine, technically, and also artistically and emotionally, and above all, it was a vast improvement on her samba and definitely her best dance yet. So I will score it an 8. And let's move on to Will and Jeanette and their Paso Doble. This number was hilarious. It was so funny, and yet there was a great amount of Paso Doble content. I loved Will's commitment and intention. His shaping wasn't bad, but it was missing the tilted hips. The Spanish arms were missing, and his footwork could have been smoother and stronger. It was very decent Paso Doble, very decent. But now I want him to step up his game regarding the technical aspect of the dance. He is always quite there, but still his dancing isn't that strong. It was a good Paso Doble, the concept was absolutely brilliant, and I hope he will be technically even stronger next week. I will score it a 6. Next up, Calvin Ocean and Charleston. What a great routine, the choreography was very intricate, but Calvin coped with it exceptionally well. It was like watching a number from Broadway or from the West End. Most of the time his moves were flawless, but occasionally they were not compact enough. He should have closed his feet more, and there was one lift that went a little bit dodgy. It was a fantastic routine, such an intricate choreography, such a high standard of performance, and it was his best dance yet, but it wasn't flawless. So I will give it an 8. And let's move on to Eman Aliash and their Foxtrot. I was happy to see that he has taken the judges' comments on board and acted the dance while trying to pull off the hard technique of the Foxtrot. It was really charming. She was really charming. She acted the dance beautifully. I absolutely loved her partnership with Aliash. For me, her frame was excellent, and she did some lovely steps like the heel turn. There was sway, which was very nice to see. However, she missed most, if not the heel leads. She didn't drive her feet strong enough while moving backwards, and there was gapping, and she needed to work on her top line. She stepped in the right direction of giving both a great performance and strong dancing in terms of technique, and she performed her best dance yet. But there is a long way to go. So I will give it a 6. Let's move on to Annika Calendar Charleston. Unfortunately for me, it was one of the worst dances I had ever seen on the show. Almost not a single actual Charleston step. So would 90% of the time she was just running around. I have nothing more to add. Sadly, really I have nothing more to add. It was a great disappointment because last week in the walls she has shown some improvement, but in this routine she gave the impression she was either not interested in the show anymore or she completely does not believe in herself. It is a pity because she could have done better. The judges have made the right decision by eliminating her because it was sadly horrible. I will score it just a 2. Next up, aside from AJ and their Paso, she was really into the dance, which was amazing. She produced very clean lines. Her musicality was amazing. They both have created a real sense of drama on the dance floor. However, I wasn't keen on the music. It was lacking much more shaping in the body, as well as the Spanish arms and the tilted hips. Her footwork was good and clean. She was totally into character, and it was probably her best dance yet. But it could have been much stronger. For me, it's a 7. And let's move on to Mike and Katya and the Cha-Cha-Cha. It was such an entertaining routine. Mike was really into the dance in terms of the character. He acted the dance fantastically. However, he lost times on 1 or 2 steps. He didn't straighten the legs. There was no hip action. In other words, his technique was pretty weak. The only 2 positive things that I can say regarding his actual cha-cha-cha are his arms that were quite good and his New York, a move that is called New York, that was technically good as well. Other than that, his routine was riddled with mistakes, even though he has given a great show. So for me, it's a 4. David, Nadia and the American Smooth. It was without a doubt David's best dance so far. Finally, he was engaged with the dance and with Nadia. Finally, he was enjoying, and he has shown his personality and he wasn't passive. Technically, I cannot praise him sadly for anything really because his frame was terrible. There was no sway, no heel leads, his arms were stiff, but he finally started to enjoy and give a character and the performance. I hope he focuses on his technique, on the technique of the dance for his next dance, because sadly there were lots and lots of errors and mistakes in these American Smooths, but he's stepping in the right direction. And I will give him a 4. Next up is Anton and Emma. Emma and Anton and the salsa. It was really surprising because Emma pulled off a very decent salsa. She showed great hip action, although only 1 or 2 times, and I cannot wait to see her rumba. This dance was so entertaining, very funny, pretty rhythmical. It had lovely touches of jazz dancing. I would have loved to see much more actual salsa content because in the salsa the hips should work non-stop. Emma have really shown a promise in her Latin. It was her best dance without any doubt. She acted the dance very well. Her lips were smooth. It was a lovely sense. It had a lovely sense of humor, and now I want to see her focuses on straightening her legs and settling into the hip while doing the Latin dances. And I hope to see much more actual content in the next routine. For now, it's a solid 6. And finally, last couple to perform was Dev and Diane and their couple's choice, the street dance. Great musicality, great synchronization between the two of them, clean lines, lovely characterization. It was a very strong routine. For me, as much as I enjoyed it, Dev's energy could have been even stronger. He could have produced some of the lines with greater energy, and for me the song worked against the dance. This song does not suit a street dance, it suits more jazz routine or freestyle dance. And for me, as an entertainment, this routine was of the highest quality for sure, but as a street number, I wanted to see and to feel more hip-hop breakdance moves and to feel that hip-hop breakdance energy. And for me, I can't agree with the judges, it's a 9. For me, it's an 8. Solid 8. So, that's all for this week. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and see you next week. Bye bye.